Okay, in this video I want to talk about the clothes that I wear for the winter, and I want to make this video actually for the last 2 years and haven't done it, and now I got questions about it, and I thought, okay, I use this as an opportunity. So this is about being able to train outside in the winter. For many years I spend a lot of time outside in the winter training, but also just walking in the forest or being outside working with wood. So some activities that I do are more active, more intense, so you need less clothes, and others are less intense. But when I talk about training, it doesn't just mean that I'm running or something like this, but it can also mean that I do small technical movements that don't raise your heart rate much, so you need to wear enough clothes if you want to stay warm. On the other hand, obviously, cold adaptation is a thing, so I would also purposefully wear less to have the cold adaptation, to feel a bit cold. On the other hand, I would say if you're freezing outside and it's not voluntary and you live in Germany in the 21st century, then maybe you have done a mistake. And I know that many people have not taken good care of their clothes, and it's something that you don't need to take care of like all the time. I have things here that I have for many years. For example, some socks that I have for 15 years, and other things they're also many years old. Obviously things break down, but usually if you buy something of a decent quality, then it lasts also a long time. So it's basically every 10 years you need to take care of that a bit, I would say. All right, so let's say it is very cold outside. Yeah, it's around 0 degrees Celsius or minus or whatever. There's ice. So what would I wear? Let's start at the upper body because that's the most important, I think. And I use a layer system. That's obvious if you are outside and if you know how it is to be outside. If you move, that you can peel layers off, the onion style. So obviously I also do the onion. And the first layer I would usually take something without sleeves, because for some reason they are often a bit longer. And that means I can put it more deeper into the pants, which means less wind coming directly to my body. So this is usually what I would do first. One big thing is that I use a lot of wool. This, what I have in my hand, is from cotton. There is the saying for winter survival that cotton kills because it takes so much water, so much moisture. So if you fall into a river or something like this in the winter with cotton clothes, you are fucked. But still, I use tiny bit of cotton, which is usually this first layer, which is mainly because I just have this for many years, and some of these first layer cotton things I have for 15 years, and they still hold and they're okay. But if I would buy something new, I would probably also go for wool. Okay, so first layer is something without sleeves that is a bit longer. And then second layer is either something like that, like a long sleeve. That would be the usual, or normal t-shirt, but I would usually go for a long sleeve that's wool. Here, I usually don't mention companies much, but this time I will do. Please note that there's no advertisement or anything. It's just really the stuff that I wear for many years. I don't get any money for this. There's no affiliate links or something like this here. Okay, this is just honestly what I use. So this is from Patagonia, and I think this is 100% wool. This is not very thick. It's more like it is a winter thing, but they are much thicker things. I have some that are a bit thicker, but I like this one also. It's not too thick. I like it when it's not too thick, and that's good. And sometimes I put a t-shirt over the long sleeve, and that's maybe from a style perspective not the best choice, but but it is a good windbreaker actually. For some reason, this stuff, this is like outdoor stuff for if you're hiking into the mountains. And I already spoke with one guy in the big outdoor shop here in Berlin. I asked him, why are they always so short? They're a bit too short. And then he said, yeah, because you wear pants that are going to the waist, yeah, that are not sitting on the pelvis, but that go a bit higher. And I thought, okay, like that's a bit of a weird statement, no? Like you have to wear certain pants to be able to wear this. So I think that's not made very, I mean, intelligently it is made because apparently there is a thought behind it, but it's not very universally made because often when you have pants that are more for moving around, they would not sit so high, yeah? If you wear like a jogging pant or something like this. So that's often the case with these long sleeves from various companies. I have one also from Autofox. I have one from polyester from Odlo, also nice, but I really dislike polyester, so I never wear it. But I have worn it years ago regularly before I had the wool stuff. So that's why I would put a t-shirt that is usually, again, a bit longer to sort of close it again, like to put it into the pants again and to close it. This is also wool, it's a bit thicker, so a wool shirt. I used to wear icebreaker, then at some point started to not like them so much anymore. This is from a company called Engel, and I bought it in an organic supermarket, and it is relatively cheap, like for this sort of stuff. This is with silk and wool. It's not merino wool. It's not merino wool, like normal wool. Can you say normal wool? It's just wool from not a merino sheep, but it's with silk, and the silk makes that it doesn't, how do I say? Kratzen. Was heißt kratzen? Scratch, yeah, thank you. That it doesn't scratch so much, because the normal wool usually scratches. No, people know that from the 70s or something like this. And then they started to produce everything with merino wool. Merino wool is very nice. This is what's mainly used, but that's also an option that you put silk in that. And it is, as I said, relatively, like it's a very good price. It's a very good price. In Germany, you can just get this in the organic supermarket. Okay, so that's the base layer. And then on top of the base layer, I would usually wear something like this, which I also wear now at the moment. Like I didn't put this on for the video, but I just wear it. This is from Wool Power, and Wool Power we jokingly say is our uniform in the training, yeah, because we are all sort of wearing Wool Power. So this is a company from Sweden. Like many of these outdoor companies are from Sweden, no? Sweden and Germany and Switzerland are like the biggest makers of this stuff, I think. And I tried to see where it says what material mix is in here. Oh yeah, here it says on this one it's 70% merino wool, 28% polyamide, and 2% elastane. So let's see if this is the same here. Yeah, this is the same. So I guess this is all the same mix of material. So this is 200 grams per square meter. This is 400 grams, and this is 600 grams. So this is the three thicknesses that they have. Usually, so my daily thing is the 200 grams. This is a vest. I will tell you why I wear a vest also in a moment. Do we say vest for this? Like this is different in different countries, no? Some say vest, and some say something else. Yeah. Also in Germany, in some regions, I think Weste is with. Okay, but there's some language stuff. Yeah, this is a 200 vest, and this is a 600 like outer layer thing. so I would wear this, very nice with the wool power. They are very long in the back, so if you lean forward, if you get into a hip hinge, your back is not open. This is really great. But the thing is, positive and negative. Positive is the material mix with the polyamide. Positive because this lasts very, very long. This lasts really many years. The problem that they have is that at some point it gets a bit relaxed, like it loses the tension, the fibers, and they're a bit like hanging loose. So I have some older stuff that can be still used, yeah, that I keep in my storage for later use again, but I don't like to wear it so much as a daily anymore because I've worn it for many days, and yeah, it's hanging a bit loose here. So, but the polyamide is making it much more sturdy, much more stable, I would say. But from a recycling point of view, not so good, no? From a recycling point of view, you want 100% wool or something like this, because then it can be very nicely recycled. So this stuff that is combined is always a problem, but just from a performance perspective, this is better than normal wool. Okay, so why would I wear this vest? Because also, let's say from a style perspective, it's a bit negotiable, if that's such a good choice. Because if I have a vest and I put a jacket over that, then my arms don't get so cramped. Because if I have this thick one as the outer layer, and you see this already very thick, like 600 grams per square meter, and then I put the outer shell, then I feel a bit like a Michelin stature. You know these ones that are like super thick? Yeah, I feel like I cannot use my arms so good anymore. So here there are no arms, perfect. Yeah, that's why I like the vest. But I was hesitant for a long time. But when I got it, I felt like, okay, yeah, actually this is what was missing from my life, and now everything is good. Okay, so the 600, this is also in the winter, like, yeah, this is just very nice. Very heavy, very nice. Okay, then outer layer, all wool power, yeah, this was outer layer. This is just a rain jacket, normal rain jacket, with an inside, like a 3-layer rain jacket. You know what I mean? Like you're not directly on the membrane. I like this much more because if you sweat and you don't have sleeves here, you maybe just have a t-shirt, I think this feels much nicer, but for some reason they don't produce that so much anymore. They usually do this 2-layer or 2.5-layer. I hope I'm using these words correctly. I used to have a Patagonia as well, but that broke down a bit too early, I would say, from the how water repellent it was. This one I don't have long, so I cannot say anything about it, how good the quality is. So I won't mention the company just because I only have this one for 1.5 years or something like that. And I don't speak about things that I don't have for at least like 3 or 4 years. And then I have this one, which I really dearly love. This is also from Patagonia. This is with down inside. So there's down, and then there's the outer shell that is a hard shell, so no water can come in. Super warm, of course. Not so good for movement because it's a bit longer, and that's the thing. I mean, if you move around, you don't want to wear a coat, no? That goes almost until your knee. So this is not super long, but let's say it is. It's a bit longer than what I would say is ideal. I can still move very well with it, but I'm usually taking more like this stuff and just have this sort of over me when I walk to the place or something like that, and then take it off. Also because if I roll over the floor or something, I want this to last for many years. I don't want to destroy the hard shell. Yeah, what is definitely out is just this wool, just this down vests that they like to wear in bouldering. For me, that's out because I don't want to have something that I cannot really use for all sorts of things. I mean, with this, I can roll over the floor, and I did it. That's not really a problem. I just, don't overdo it because I don't want to force it that it breaks down. But with this super lightweight wool stuff, where the material is super lightweight and you touch something and directly opens, for me, it's a no-go. I would never. I mean, I like this also from the thought that it's really nice, but I would never buy it because I need something that I don't need to take care of. Like, it needs to be heavy duty also. So this is very nice. Really love it. Okay, so that was the upper body. Maybe one last mention. I think I have it in here. Obviously, I also have a hat. Yeah, hat made of wool as well, and I have this one. How to call this? Like a scarf, but a scarf that is a tunnel scarf. Yeah, and you can do many things with this. Also, if you don't want to be seen or don't see anyone, you can do this. Or you can do this if you want to look like a hippie, which is also nice if you want to blend in a hippie festival. And this is a thicker version, also made of wool. Yeah, very nice. I also have this for many years. So you see, if I have the wool power, I don't need it because it's already fitting here. Then, this is a long underpants. Yeah, also from wool power. I think also like the same mix with the polyamide, like this. Also, I think Icebreaker is doing good stuff, and Autofox also, if I'm not mistaken. I have this one. I don't use it much. For many years, I was not using this at all. I was just always wearing like normal pants, maybe a bit thicker ones. So, just normal pants or sweatpants or something like this. Philippa tells me that I'm on the microphone here. Okay, sorry. Sweatpants or climbing pants. And I bought this for the days that I'm going into the ice water to then help me a bit after, like not getting warm again, but then to stay warm, to keep the warmth. Yeah, but I like it also for some days where I know, okay, I'm not going to move very intensely, but I'm going to stay a long time outside. Like when I'm in the forest, just at 0 degrees and slowly walking and looking what's there, or working for a longer time outside with wood. That is sometimes intense, sometimes more like small things that are semi-intense. Then I would wear the long johns. Yeah. Okay, and then socks, wool socks. I have no idea what this is from. Probably also wool power. They look like wool power. I think this one someone left at some point at my place or something like this. But wool power I wear for many years. Another one is smart wool. That is also nice, and they really last long. Like as I said, I have one pair that is 15 years old. So very good to spend your money on. I think they usually cost around like 30 euros per pair, so it's not cheap. Yeah, it is expensive, but because it's wool, they don't smell so quickly. So you don't need 20 pairs of this. Yeah, I have several pairs, which is also mainly because I'm a bit afraid of the sock monster, that it steals the socks, and then I don't know where the socks is. So I have, I think, like 5 pairs or something like this. But actually, you need only 2. Yeah, 2 pairs, and that's it. There's also 200, 400, 600, and I think also 800. I used to have also 800. Momentarily, I think I have up to 600. You can put also 200 and 400 combination, then you have 600, and then it's all good. Yeah, so I would just go for wool power, and that's it. Okay, shoes. I also wear minimal shoes in the winter. These ones are with a winter sole. This is from Joe Nimble, or Nimble Toes it's called. It's a German company, and they are a bit thicker. from the sole. So it's just a few millimeters thicker, but it makes a huge difference. The thing with the minimal shoes is that if you don't move, you will be cold. But once you move, because there's more activation in your feet, you will get warm very quickly. I wear the woolen socks in there, and these shoes here I have this is now my 4th or even 5th winter. I'm not sure anymore. I bought this before my son was born, so it must be the 5th winter now. Males usually don't know how old their kids are. Yeah, this is part of our of our thing. So many companies, many of these minimal shoe companies, they make shoes that are still minimal but have a tiny bit, just a few millimeters more thickness, and that's good. I also have some sort of barefoot boots, which I would wear in the forest or for longer walks in the snow or something like this. But for movement on a daily basis, I just wear these ones. Yeah, that's it. Actually, that's the things that I wear. Lots of wool and an outer layer. That's good to have because of the wind. Here in Berlin can be quite windy, and I'm from, like, my hometown is super windy, so I'm a bit, I always have wind in my mind. And if you're in the winter, in the deep winter with snow and stuff, some people say actually soft shell is better because the moisture that you produce goes out better. But then the thing is, how many different pieces of how many different jackets do you want to have? So if you have 0 jackets, you will start with 1 jacket, no? And then don't buy a soft shell, buy a hard shell. Yeah, it's much more universal than a soft shell, because usually, or many times then, when it doesn't rain, this would also suffice, just heavy wool stuff. Yeah, but as I said, if there's a lot of wind, this makes a huge difference. But if I move a lot, I would take it off because it makes you sweat much more. So that's, again, the onion principle. And I also have a soft shell, but actually I don't use it much. Yeah, so it will probably last 50 years, and then I give it to my son or my daughter if she gets to my height. Okay, I made it a bit dirty here from my shoes. I apologize for that, and we'll clean it now. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, ask them and I will answer them. All right.